Hey you guys, so if you have been watching my Snapchat recently, you may have gotten a bit worried about what I posted regarding a bomb threat and a just being relieved that they were packing up and stuff at my apartment. So I'm okay. It's quite a bit after the whole incident, and so basically what happened is, as far as I know, there was actually a bomb in an apartment near mine, which is pretty dang freaky. I was really terrified, I'll be honest. But last night, the fire alarm went off in our apartment building, and we kind of investigated a little bit. There was no fire whatsoever that we could tell. And when the fire department arrived, they didn't bring out any hoses, and the cops just kind of investigated the area. They shut off the alarm after like 30 minutes of investigation, and then they left within the next 30 minutes. So when the fire alarm went off today, that's kind of what we just assumed was going on. Then my wife went to work, and they shut off the fire alarm within like 10 minutes. And everything was normal. The fire department showed up again, but I was busy, so I didn't really look outside much. But then the fire alarm went off again for another 10-15 seconds at least, possibly up to 30 seconds. And I was curious. I'm like, who the heck is setting off this alarm all the time? And then I heard some sirens, and another fire truck and several police cars showed up outside the apartment. I have a view from my room of the parking lot. So they all showed up, and they actually brought out hoses, and I was like, okay, this isn't good. And my feeling was, if they, turned on the hoses, started spraying, obviously it means get out of the building, right? But they didn't. They put out lengths of hose and just left it on the ground, and they all gathered by the door. And I was really wondering what the heck was going on. I looked outside right afterwards, and there was a cop running by with a automatic rifle just cruising on by the building, and it kind of freaked me out for a second. He was just cruising around. It was like a M16 or an M4. I didn't get a good look. He was a distance away, but just running around, and I was like, okay, what the heck? And so after that, I heard some commotion outside of my room, and there was a police officer talking on the phone to somebody. I could only presume it was the person across the hall from me because of where he was on the phone, but he could have just been there because he wanted to be out of earshot of the actual apartment that was on the phone with him. But apparently, from what I could hear, I wasn't even really close to my apartment door, but I could hear the officer because he was talking pretty loud. He was talking to this guy about this device or bomb. He even said bomb a few times, and then he called it a device, and the officer was talking him into coming out of the room and letting them check the device, of course. And so that was all going on, and I looked through the peephole in my door, and I saw the officer walking around on the phone, and then later I saw a couple more officers carrying what I could only assume to be a battering ram, the heavy metal ones that they carry. They didn't have to use it as far as I could hear, but they just carried it. And then the weirder thing is, I think I saw a U.S. military person. I couldn't really tell because he walked really close to my door, but it looked like he had camouflage, like tactical gear with like a helmet on, but I only got a glimpse because he like walked by really fast and just took me by surprise. Like, I thought I might have mistaken a bomb squad member, but even if it was, like, that's still serious business, but I don't think that's what I saw. And then after all of that, I was still listening, and just because, like, this is like the most interesting thing that's happened to me. I didn't think, a bomb's gonna actually go off. The police are really good at handling this sort of situation, and it sounded like he had it under control. But one thing that really freaked me out was, over the phone, I heard the officer say, "Why are you laughing?" And let's just say I never backed away from my door faster, because if it went off, it was there was a chance that it was nearby, and I wanted to get to the farthest away from other apartments that I could, so I just went back to my room for a little bit. It was really scary, but after like 10 minutes I came back and listened a little bit more, and I think at that point there was no more talking, and I think that the whole situation was diffused at that point, but it was like 2 hours or something that there was this whole scare going on in the whole place, and some people left and were waiting outside to kind of see what was going on. I think that they were people who were in nearby apartments that went out or were coming in for random reasons, and they were just stopped and told, you know, it's not safe. I felt safe. I don't recommend people staying in their apartment if there is such a threat nearby, but I felt very secure and confident in my local police force. But at the same time, there was a point where it was quite scary. But so yeah, that was what was going on with Snapchat. And so yeah, this is the video kind of explaining what the heck was going on. I messaged my wife what was going on, and then I told her that I was okay after all of it. So yeah, thank you guys for being there for me and you know, experiencing that with me. That was crazy. I was freaking out, but they all started packing up and headed out. But yeah, I should have a new skit coming out pretty soon in the next few days. I've been really busy. It's been Christmas. I've had several Christmas parties with different members of the family, and now my birthday is today, so it's crazy. It's fun stuff. So I'm getting a video out as soon as I can with everything that's going on. Thank you guys again for watching this video, and I will see all of you guys in the next one. Goodbye.